Hello and welcome back to the second part of my HF-12 D&T radio repair video. If you haven't already watched the first video, please pop back and watch it. Now, the second walkie-talkie arrived in a much better box. I mean, this almost looks like it could be on the shelf in a shop. It's in that good condition. Compare this to the original radio there, which is looks like it's seen rather better days. Probably lived a fair old while in the loft there. This other one is certainly had a wardrobe type existence, one would expect. So anyway, out of the box though, the actual condition of the radio, the physical walkie-talkie, was about the same as the other radio. So with a little bit of a hidden problem which they didn't tell me about, but handily this came with the manual. Now this I haven't seen on some of the eBay purchases that I've made of these radios, so this was nice. So I've got the full schematic and operating guide and instructions, and it usefully shows you how not to break the lid as well there, which is something that unfortunately has happened with this radio. But you get the full schematic and more usefully a PCB layout, which is something I had to work out manually by using a magnifying glass. So that's very, very useful indeed, and not something I could find online anywhere. So I was really pleased to see a fully intact manual with that kind of information in it. As you can see here, the original user had also put the channel selections on the side of the radio because they're not apparent in any other way. This antenna is also in good condition. It's not bent or broken in any way, and the battery connector seems to be, if it's not new, it's certainly in very good condition. It hasn't had any batteries leaked or anything like that. On the antenna here, there does appear to be a very, very mild corrosion, but it's nothing to worry about. So anyway, I gave the battery case a quick closer inspection, and it does look really in good condition. So I have a funny feeling this may well have been replaced. It looks too good to be original, but I could be wrong about that. But they certainly are available if you have one of these radios and you don't want to spend the time cleaning it up. But the original clip there also looks to be in good condition. So overall, I was quite expecting this radio to be okay in terms of maintenance, really. And as it turned out, it didn't need a great deal doing to it. But unfortunately, something the seller had not mentioned was the fact that the battery clip had been broken. Now, as I've shown, it gives you specific instructions on how to take this off the back, and it had been bruted off, and they hadn't included the clips. So I quickly got onto the CAD with Design Spark and made some new ones in 3D, and you'll see those a little bit later on in the video to make that a nice clean repair. Anyway, certainly is fine. And yeah, it's a bit silly really, because look, it shows you exactly how to do it, but I guess people in a hurry and don't read the manual, do they? So anyway, initially turned this on, and it had the same problems as the other radio, and crackly volume knobs and this. But on this radio, the squelch did actually work. So on this video, we're going to go through the radio quickly, not as in depth as in the last one, and then we're going to go out to site and do some testing with the radios as well. So that's really interesting. I would definitely hang around for that. I cover some similar ground to the first video in this one, but I think you'll find some of this one, because the radio had different issues, you may well find this interesting and useful as well. So please watch on. Anyway, back to me in the workshop. Enjoy. Right, straight off the bat with this one, there's evidence of screwdrivers going in. We've got a broken top of that inductor, and we've got an actual broken ferrite there inside the inductor, as you can see. And I know from aligning the other set that these are not in the right positions. So yes, it's going to need realigning, which shouldn't be too bad. We're going to do the transmit frequency first, and see if we can get it on frequency on, or as near as we can, across all three, and then we'll move on to receive. Right, so transmit power out of the box seems about like the other one. Seems to be okay. So it's just frequency now, so we need to check that. Right, that should be channel 14. It should be 27.73125, so that's a little bit low. So we'll bring that up on and get that on frequency, and then that should bring the others in at the same time, roughly anyway. There we go, 27.73126. 1 hertz out, and we got it on the spectrum analyzer as well, or SDR So that's channel 14 on transmits. Let's check all the other channels now. Yeah, we can see we're on frequency there on the SDR straight away, and we've got plenty of power as well, although we can get a bit more, I think. So we've just moved it to channel 7, which is 27.66125, and we've got 27.66116. So we can't adjust that, because if we adjust that, and that'll just channel 14, but it's still within spec, so I'm happy with that. That's fine. So let's check channel 19. And channel 9 is out. Should be 27.78125, and it's 100 Hz out. Now I might better bring that down a little bit, but it's going to affect the others, so I'll have a little fiddle. So we brought that rights back down onto the right frequency for 19, but I can almost guarantee that now 14 is going to be out. Yeah, so that's on 14, 27.73057. So we'll have to get it somewhere in between, I think. Alright, so this is a bit of a compromise, but it's as near as we can do. If this was someone else's radio, I think I would suggest changing the crystals, but that's quite expensive. And of course, you could also, if you were just going to use this on channel 19 and not really worry about 14 and 7, you could tune this just up for channel 19. But with it on that, it should work somewhere in betwixt. It's near enough. It's near enough not to make a huge amount of difference, but ideally a crystal change on 19 would be what I would do here. Right, change of tack here. Because I'm going to be using these radio to radio doing a test, I'm actually going to tune these back down so that they're correct on 7 and 14, 19 being a call-in channel, and if we're doing a test we don't want to be doing it on the call-in channel. So I'm going to tune this back so it's solid on the 2 channels on 7 and 14, and like I say, I'll have to put a little sticker on it so we don't use it on channel 19 because it's going to be slightly too far out. Right, that's brought the transmit power up a little bit. Okay, that's about in line with the other radio, so 3/4 watt, so that's good. Right, so that's frequency and transmit power aligned. It's close enough on channel 19 to be usable anyway, but it's locked spot on 7 and 14. And now we'll do the RX. We'll set up the SIGGEN, and we'll tune the RX on this, and hopefully that'll be done. I'm not going to do any capacitor changes. I don't think it made a huge difference on the other one, apart from it fixed the squelch problem that we had, but we don't appear to have the squelch problem on this one, so it's a sort of hour's work. So if I can avoid that, I'm going to avoid it. But I will put a sticker on this radio saying that I haven't changed the capacitors, so at least I know that I haven't done it. Right, and here is the 3D printed battery case repair piece, ready to be glued in with some shoe goo, and this has come out perfectly. It's nice and thin, and it's just got enough clearance to make those tabs, and it's exactly the same dimensions as the existing one. So I clamped that in with some shoe goo and left it overnight, and that's not going anywhere now, and it's, as you can see, it's almost indistinguishable as a repair. So another win for the 3D printer there, and it's certainly a lot better than gaffer tape all over the back of the radio, which of course is what we would have done all those years ago. So let's go out to site now with these 2 radios. It's a few weeks later and it's a lovely sunny day. Right, we've got going to do this little test here just in the field. I'm sure it'll work fine. We're in a noisy park full of kids, so that's going to work well, hopefully. But we'll do a short range test here, and then I'll perhaps go and march off up there somewhere and we'll do another test. Right, I mean, look at the size of that antenna. That's not really practical, is it? But hey, it's a cool walkie-talkie. Let's go and do a range test. I'm sure it's going to work quite well actually. These are good quality. Right, Debbie is right the way down there by the table tennis table and the green rocking horse. So we'll try here, but I'm sure this will be more than okay. And what I'll do is, you can see we're quite high up here, look. What I'll do is I'll go a bit further down the slope in that direction, and we'll do a test in that direction rather than up in that direction because it's uphill. So right, let's see if we can get Debbie.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
How good does that sound, eh? Right, and am I sounding good your end? Is it nice and clear?
Yeah, nice and clear this end.
Yeah, really nice. So okay, well I think we can establish we can do this range easy. So I'll pop down the road with them, I think, a bit further down the dip, up the other side. I'll probably go in the car and then we'll try it again, okay?
Okay.
Right, we've come right down to a noisy motorway, but we're I'd say about 2 miles away from each other, and we'll put out a call and see if we can pick Debbie up. So we're quite a distance away, and it's the M40 behind me, so it's a little bit noisy. Right, let's see if Debbie can get us. Okay then, Debbie, give us the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Wow, that sounds really good. Can you give us a couple of blasts of the tone as well, which is the little, when you push it in, just press the little red button on the side. Just give us a bit of Morse code. Yeah, that works superb. Right, okay. I'm just testing. I'm down by the turn-in for Mollington, right next to the M40, which you can probably hear maybe in the background. Right, okay. I'm just testing. I'm down by the turn-in for Mollington, right next to the M40, which you can probably hear maybe in the background. It's very, very loud here. But I think this is a really good test because there's lots of trees and stuff in the way. I reckon it's probably about 1.5 miles. So I reckon in open terrain you're going to probably get 2 or 3 miles easily with these. So it's rather impressive. I'll give you a blast of the tone. Did you get the tone okay?
Yeah, got the tone okay.
Yeah, got the tone okay.
Okay, well that's brilliant. I think we've proven that these.
I think we've proven that these work great. I mean, a bit unwieldy with the antenna, but superb. So okay, you can turn it off now, and I'll come back to base.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Right, Debbie's in this location at the park, and it's saying here 1.1 miles away, and I am all the way down here where this dot is. It is all downhill. I'm kind of right down in the dip there by the motorway junction. There's a fair bit of trees and stuff, as you can see out there. Fair bit of trees and stuff where she's right in that direction there. So to be honest, for walkie-talkies like these, that's great performance. And you look at some of the performance of the CB radios I've had on the channel so far, these are by far, apart from obviously maybe the TRC 214s, the AM radios, which of course are really good radios too, but in terms of legal 2781 sets, these are by far the best by a long way. So if you are after some and you can get them, and I think I bought this one for £5. I mean, I know you wouldn't use them practically against one of these, but that one ain't making the distance, and this one is. And if you like old school radios like me, then these are a sweet radio. And if you do pick a couple up, I hope the video that I've done will be useful when you want to tune these up. And if anyone has got any questions, just please feel free to ask, because I got to know these quite well. I don't think they'll all require a capacitor change, by the way. I just tend to do that, as although it did fix the squelch on the other radio. So anyway, so that was just a short update. I promised to do a range test. Like I say, I think over water with these, I reckon you probably get probably 4 or 5 miles. Perhaps when the restrictions are lifted and we can go to the reservoir to test them, I might do a quick update video then. But keep an eye on the channel, because we've got the second part of the Kenwood Die Hard radio video coming, and that's looking really sweet. The only thing is, I really feel it would justify me buying a resin printer. So it looks fantastic so far on the PLA printer, the standard 3D printer, if you like. So we'll see how we get on, but I think you'll be quite impressed. So keep an eye on the channel. If you have been, thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.